for you today. I hope that you are ready. I don't think you are, but I hope that you are. I have up to 80% off clearance items today, guys. Up to 80% off, which is absolutely insane. This is like last chance clearance because this truly is a clearance event for the ages where it's not very often that you're going to see 80% off, but a lot of these items that you're going to see today, once they're gone for good. So it truly is a last chance. You definitely don't want to sleep on any of this because if you put things in your cart and you walk away from it later, there's no guarantee that those items are still going to be there. So you want to take advantage. Trust me, you do. This is a great time for you to stock up. So we're doing a little spring cleaning here at Art Beads. This is a great opportunity for you to get ready for all of the spring, summer, fall, and even winter designs that you're going to be doing. If you're doing shows coming up for the summer and the fall, now is your opportunity to stock up on some of those items that are essentials. And I've got you covered. I have a lot of everything in today's show. I've got beads, I have findings, I have charms, I have some chain. So stick around. You don't want to miss anything, and be sure that while you are watching and while you are shopping that you're closing out those carts, because again, those items probably won't stick around for very long. So we're going to get right into it here in just a second, but I want to say hello to everybody. Hey, Wendy. Hi, Hazel. Happy Friday to you. Hey, Gina. How are you? Tina is here. Sandy is here. Nicole is here. Guys, the party can start, especially now that Nicole's here. Hey, Maggie. How are you? And of course, we have Eric and Michelle here taking care of us in the comment section and trying to keep everybody in line. Though I think somebody should probably try to keep them in line as well. I don't know. Michelle's pretty good about it. Eric's not. He's just like you guys. Michelle's the one walking around with the clipboard, like a clipboard writing down names. So everybody, Michelle's in charge, okay? What Michelle says goes. Oh my gosh. All right. Hey, Linda. Hey, Laura. Let's get into it, shall we? I'm going to turn you guys around and we're going to go ahead and get started because there's a ton of stuff. And as I'm showing you, we're going to talk about how to shop for those of you who are new here. All right. So I'm also going to try to give you guys the best pricing that I can. If I've got some of it messed up, I know Michelle will step in and correct me if I get any of it wrong. But hopefully I've got everything situated. So we're going to start out looking at some chain and some beaded strands here. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I have coming in is a strand of Jesse James beads. This is a classic white bead strand. Really, really pretty. It's been a while since I've done anything with Jesse James beads. If you know, you know. I worked with them several years ago. So I don't have the opportunity to design with these as much as I used to, but I still love to look at them. They're so pretty. So this one was originally $10.89. This one is at $6.54. So pretty. This is a good classic white. We talk about quite often some of the colors that we don't have a lot of that we need to be sure that we stock up on because it never fails that when you need it, you don't have it. White is one of those colors. So when it comes to whites, grays, blacks, and reds, at least for me, those are the four colors that I always need but never seem to have enough of. So this is a really pretty way to stock up on the whites. And of course, at that price, probably want to grab a couple of them, but I love this. It's got some really beautiful solid white, and then you get all the spacers too. That's what's really cool about the Jesse James bead strands, is that you get more metal elements with all of your beads. There's some large hole European style beads here. There are some beautiful rhinestone spacers, some faceted rondelles, these that are kind of like sea glass, really pretty, and then some drops. So it's a really pretty strand. All right, now I've got another beaded strand. I'm going to leave that one there while I get this one out so that you can see it, because these are the two that I have in the show, so I can show them at the same time. So this one, this one is also a Jesse James bead strand. This one is a limited edition vanilla cream. Also another really, really pretty one. This one was originally $10.29. It is at $5.27. I love this one because it has some cubes in it, and if you watch my lives elsewhere, I use a lot of cube beads in a lot of the things that I do. Really pretty. There's some glass pearls here. Lots of those rhinestone spacers throughout. Some of the little metal beads. I have some of these in the show today. So if you like these little guys right here, stay tuned because I have several of those. Now I'm going to let you guys take a look at these for a second while we talk about how to shop, because I definitely want you to have some eye candy as we are talking about that. So you're going to notice on the side of your screen, if you are joining us from rbeads.com, there is a shopping bag on the side of the screen. You can click on that shopping bag at any point during today's show, and it's going to bring up all of the items that you see. And that includes items that I've already talked about. So if you come in halfway through the show, or if you have to step away and you come back later and you've missed some things, you can always click on that shopping bag to see everything that's in the show. And you can add those items to your cart as well as check out, all while still watching the show. So we make it really easy for you. You don't have to navigate away. Now, if you're joining us from Facebook, it's going to be a little bit different. There is a text bar at the top of your screen. You're going to type in the codes for each one of the items, and you're going to get a link sent straight to you to take you to those items on the website. However, if you're joining us from Facebook, I cannot see your comments. So if you want to hang out in the comment section and be part of the conversation, we encourage you to come over to artbeads.com and join us that way. All right, so this one is a chain reaction strand. This is a gold and green chain reaction strand from Jesse James Beads. This one is regularly $9.49 and it is sitting at $5.24. I love the chain reaction. This was one of my favorite things when I used to work with Jesse James Beads. That I really loved working with this stuff because you can break this up and use little sections of it. Use little sections for little earrings if you wanted to, like that little section right there. Add an ear wire to the top of it. How cute is that, right? Or you can use the entire thing and just hang pendants from it, which is pretty awesome as well. They always come in really cool colors and metal combinations. So this one's really, really pretty. So these are the 3 Jesse James Beads items that I have in the show. Now, just a reminder to you, this is a last chance clearance sale. So up to 80% off. A lot of the things that you're going to see are not going to stick around. So if you put these in your cart, you want to be sure that you close that cart out before you leave today, because there's no guarantee that those things are going to still be there by the end of today. So just keep that in mind. All right, a couple more chain things for you guys. All right. So this is a flat herringbone necklace with the clasp. So this is actually a finished piece, which I think is kind of cool. I think a lot of people don't realize that there are finished chains that are available on rbeads.com, and this is just one of them. This is a gold 18-inch 4mm flat herringbone. This one was originally $14.29. It is down to $8.22. This is going to make a really beautiful gift, but this is not only that, but this is going to be a really nice piece that you can add things to. So if you wanted to drop something from it, if you wanted to make a handmade pendant and hang from it, this would be a really beautiful personalized gift. Guys, gold is having its moment right now, so you definitely want to take advantage of this because this stuff is everywhere. And a chain like this, you can add your drop to it, you know, your personalized piece, and then change it out with something else later on. Really pretty. Love that. So, so pretty. All right, we have cup chain, which is one of my favorite things. Michelle says there's a silver version that's also on clearance. That is really good to know. That's awesome. All right, so we have some Preciosa check crystal rhinestone cup chain. This one is by the foot. So if you're ever worried about how to buy cup chain or leather or some of our other chains, it will say it in the description, so you will know that it is either by the foot or by the meter or by the yard. Be sure that you're checking that out because it's really important, because sometimes you think you've ordered enough of it and you get it home and you realize that you didn't, because you weren't paying attention to how it's sold. So this is by the foot. This was regularly $2.89 and it is $1.73, and it's Preciosa. So the crystals that you're seeing here are check glass. They're so pretty. I love Preciosa. And oddly enough, speaking of Preciosa, I had other Preciosa items in the show, but they've already sold out, so you're not even going to get to see them today. So this may be the only Preciosa thing that I have in the show today, but it's really pretty. This looks real. Really, really nice. Now, don't forget when you're grabbing cup chain, unless you already know what you're going to do with it, if you're going to wire wrap it or whatever, that's fine. But you probably want to grab some of the findings that go on the ends if you want to use this with like jump rings. All right, moving on to the next. We're going through this quickly, guys, because I have over 100 items to show you. So we're going to be here for a minute. Now, this is one of the more expensive items that I have in today's show, but I love that I can show it to you at this discounted price. So this is another one that's finished. If you're gifting this season coming up, weddings, bridal parties, things like that, if you are gifting, Art Beads tries to have you covered at every turn in that process. So this is a finished Rolo chain in silver, and I can't even believe I'm going to say what the price is on this one. So $108.79 was the original on this one, and it is at $62.86. Again, one of the more expensive items. That's because this is that beautiful sterling silver. But again, if you're giving a gift, right, you're going to put your personalized piece on this. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Debbie says, how do you cut the cup chain? That's a really good question. Let's back up to that for a second, shall we? So you guys saw this one. I'm going to move on because, again, this is a little on the pricey side. But if you're out there and you want that one, you know that it's in today's show. Let's look at the cup chain real quick again. So just really quickly. Hey, Katie, how are you? Hi, Molly, or Holly. I'm sorry. I saw your M I was mixing your last name and your first name. Hello, Holly. All right. So you're going to see the space right between those cups. See that little piece of metal? You just come in with your cutter tool and you just snip that off. So that's how you're going to cut that. And either you will get, depending on where you cut it, you'll either get like a clean side or you'll have a little bit of it hanging off. You can see there's this little tiny bit hanging off right there, and you can just trim that right off and you'll never ever see it. So you can get a nice clean cut on the end. See this one, it needs to be trimmed up. But the finding, you sit this down into the finding, and then where that little piece of metal is right there is a loop. Excuse me. And that allows you to attach your jump rings and your findings to it. But it's really easy to cut. You don't have to have any kind of special tools or anything like that. It's not stainless steel or anything that's hard to cut through. Your regular cutters will do just fine. Yes, and so Gina says, can you explain the sizing for cup chain? The sizing is similar to rhinestone sizing, says Michelle, and that is 100% true. A lot of times you'll see an S-link, I mean not an S-link, an S and a number, and a lot of times that S or SS is the stone size. This one is this is 1.3 millimeter, and I know that that's not true. This has got to be at least a 2. There's no way that's a one millimeter. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. That's a 2 millimeter. So it really kind of just depends. The larger size ones normally are like an SS. So it'll be like an SS 38. That tells you that it is the stone size is a 38. But for the smaller ones, it's going to be kind of like your beads. So like a 2 millimeter or 3 millimeter or 4 millimeter. When you're shopping for the findings, it's the same way. You're looking for, if you have a 2 millimeter cup chain, you're looking for the 2 millimeter finding to go with it. Good questions. Good questions. All right. Moving on. All right. Let's get going because we've got a lot to look at. So I have those, we talked about them just a second ago when we were looking at the Jesse James bead strands, those rhinestone spacers. I have a whole handful of those, and we're going to go through these very, very quickly. I have every single one of them that's in my show all together here. So we're going to go quickly through these. This one is a fuchsia rhinestone spacer. You can see that beautiful pink. It's like a electric pink, almost like a magenta. So this one is a 6 millimeter fuchsia in the gold plating, originally 76 cents. This one is 31 cents. These are things where you want to grab more than one of them, right? Because we're talking about like change here. So some of them are like, you know, a quarter, less than 50 cents. You definitely want to grab more than one of them. That's a really beautiful pink. Love that. So pretty. Okay. Yeah, speed shopping. We're speed shopping today. All right, got another one. This one is a small one. This is a 4.5 millimeter peridot rhinestone in the silver plated. Gosh, that green is brilliant. For something that's so tiny, that is so pretty. This one was originally 77 cents. It is at 36 cents. Grab a bunch of those. That's a beautiful color for spring. Love that. All right. Next up, we have Montana Blue. That is so pretty. This one is a 4.5 millimeter, originally 77 cents, at 34 cents. Love that Montana Blue. It's like a blue jean blue. If blue were a neutral, Montana Blue would be it. All right. Next up. Go into the lightning round. That's funny. All right, this one is an 8 millimeter, so this one's a little bit bigger. 8 millimeter amethyst rhinestone, 83 cents down to 38 cents. It's just a beautiful amethyst purple. Really pretty. Okay. All right, this one is another Montana Blue. This one is in the 8 millimeter, so if you like it a little bit bigger than the 4.5, this is a good size. Silver plated, originally 83 cents at 41 cents. That's gorgeous. All right, got another, whoops. I try to put things back in the bag if I can. Doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes they just end up in the floor. All right, Smoky Topaz, a rhinestone rondelle. This one's silver plated, 8 millimeter. The Smoky Topaz is one of my favorites. Really, really love it. I love it in spacers. I love it in beads. It's gorgeous. It's really pretty. Looks really good with like tiger eye. Looks good with black. Okay. This one is Sapphire. This one's a 5 millimeter. That's like electric blue. Look at that color. Originally 59 cents. This one's 26 cents. That color is gorgeous. And the blue and the silver together in that's really, really pretty. So nice. Okay. This one is Black Diamond. An 8 millimeter, originally 83 cents at 34 cents. Just a really good gray or silver color to mix with things. Another one that looks really good with blacks and silvers. Really pretty. Okay. Got a few more of these. This one is Medium Topaz. This is a really pretty honey color. It's a 5 millimeter, originally 59 cents, is at 30. So pretty. Looks like we've got 4 more. All right. This one is a 5 millimeter garnet. So this is going to be your dark, dark red. It's really hard sometimes to tell with the garnets that they're red until you hold them under just the right light. Because a lot of times they look black, but you can see the light just kind of sneaking through on that one. And you can see that that red really is there. It's just a deep, deep like Bordeaux red. Originally 59 cents is at 29. Okay, couple more, then we're going to move on to something else. This one is a teal. Ugh, I love that. I need a whole bag of those. Originally 83 cents or at 38 cents. This is an 8 millimeter teal rhinestone. And listen, if you see these and you want them, grab them now and add as many to your cart as possible, as many as you think you're going to need or you're going to want, because once they're gone, that's it. So you want to take advantage right now. Now I can tell you, I know for a fact that there are several of these in stock, but when people buy these at 50 at a time, that number goes down really, really quickly. So if you're going to wait until Monday or you're going to wait until Tuesday and you come back to your shopping cart, chances are these are not going to be there. So you don't want to wait too long on that, because I know that a color like that, that's not going to last. That's going to be gone before you know it. All right, 2 left. These are kind of small. These are 2 of the little 4.5 millimeters. So this one is the teal in the 4.5. So that same bright, beautiful color, just in a smaller size. This one was originally 77 cents. It's 34. And then the last of the rhinestone spacers that I have is another 4.5 millimeter one in a light rosaline. So it's just a really light rose pink. That is so pretty. Originally 77 cents is 39 cents. So again, remember that when you're buying these, buy them up, because if you buy 10 of them and you need 15 for your project and you come back later, they're probably not going to be there. So get as many as you think that you're going to need. All right, moving on to the next. Let's look at some seed beads. I only have 2 seed bead items in today's show, one of which Ari would argue is not actually a seed bead, but I think that she's wrong. I'll show you that one in a second. But I have a Preciosa round seed bead. These are 11.0. This is a really pretty color. It's like a steel gray blue. Really, really pretty. Originally $2.99. This tube is $1.77. Very pretty. Those are size 11s. Gina says, early bird gets the worm, people. You are so right. You are so right. Michelle says she wants to make a spacer bracelet with the rhinestone spacers. We can do that. Let's do that, Michelle. We should do a show. So pretty. All right, now the other one is a little bit bigger. This is the one Ari says is not really a seed bead. I think it is. I think it is. This is the Preciosa round seed bead. It is considered a pony bead, but as far as I'm concerned, this is just a great big huge seed bead. This is a 6.0. Originally $4.64 at $2.47. This color is gorgeous. Absolutely love that. And these are Preciosa, so I was wrong. I did have a couple more Preciosa items in the show today, but I think this is probably it for the Preciosa that I have. Really pretty. And you get a lot. That's a big tube, right? That's not one of these little guys. This is the full deal. Really pretty. All right, moving on to the next. All right, let's look at some, what I'm going to call odds and ends. These are just kind of like some findings that I just kind of tried to lump together. They don't all go together, but they are just findings, basically. And little things, little additions that are nice to have. This is one of my favorites. I actually have a couple of these in my own stash. These are the Bali Silver Open Filigree cones. They're originally $6.09, but they are $3.07. I love these cones. These are really nice for tassel toppers. They're good for putting at the ends of multi-strand designs to like kind of bring everything together in a manageable single. So really, really pretty. And I love the open filigree here, because if you wanted to create something around this, let's say you put a big bead inside there, then you could actually dangle things off of the open filigree work all around the side. Really pretty. It's a nice size too. It's going to be really versatile. Be able to do a lot of different things with that. Very, very pretty. Hi, Carol. I'm so glad you made it here. Everybody say hey to Carol. Carol made her way over. She wasn't sure how to get here, but she did get here, and I'm so glad that she did. All right, next up is a JBB, not to be confused with JJB, but JBB is one of my favorite findings companies. This is an antique sterling silver stems, leaves, and flower bail. This is so pretty. So if you have a bead or a pendant that needs a bail, this is really nice because you open this up with your pliers and then you squeeze this into the hole and pinch it down. And then you've got this really beautiful sterling silver decorative bail to hang it from whatever you want to hang it from. So if you're going to hang this from your chain, kind of like what we talked about a little while ago, or if you want to incorporate this into your beaded design, this is really pretty. I love all of the detail work in the texture on the leaves and on the petals of that flower. So pretty. This is a really nice addition to something for sure. Originally sitting at $369 is $217. That's one of the things about this clearance sale that just totally throws me off, is because we have sterling silver pieces and the clearance prices on them are absolutely insane. So you guys are really getting the good stuff. All right. This is another JBB antique brass plated double-sided bead cap. I love these. These are really cool. I've got two of them. They come as singles, but you can see. So basically it's just a bead cap where a bead goes on this side and a bead goes on the other side. These are regularly $209 at $126. It's just a really cool way to separate your beads without having to use more than one. I think they're really neat looking. You could make drops out of these, so you could use them this direction in like earrings or dangles, or you could use it this direction in your design. If you had a few of them, you could put your beads in between there, right? And then some beads this direction. It's just a nice little metal addition. I love the texture on those as well. Super cute. Plus I love JBB findings. The quality of JBB findings is really, really nice. All right. Janelda. All right. We have another JBB, sterling silver filigree oval link. This is absolutely beautiful. This looks like something you would find in a jewelry store. Sterling silver, $839 originally, now at $497. It's got a little bit of a curve to it, so you can see that if you were to put this in a bracelet piece, it's going to fit really, really nicely. It's going to sit just right up against you because it has that slight curve to it. Plus, the filigree work on this is just absolutely beautiful. And it's sterling silver. And it's JBB. It's checking all the boxes for me. So pretty. Love that. Right? Everybody's oohing and awing over that. It's beautiful. And originally at $839 and now it's at $497. Like, grab those up because they're not going to hang around. These will sell out. I promise they will sell out. So pretty. All right. I got a couple of little tiny baby charms for you. I have a lot of very microscopic items in today's show, which always cracks me up when I always end up with the tiny things. Look at the baby elephant. This one is originally $339. He's at $1.62. This one is a sterling silver, just a tiny little elephant. If you know somebody in your life who needs an elephant, or if you want to use elephants as a way to personalize your handmade pieces of jewelry, having something like this is like a symbol of, like, use the elephant in place of your signature, right? So everybody knows that the ones that have the elephants on them, they were made by you. I love using charms like that, so super cute. He's adorable. All right. As Barb Girl says, she's going to use that with turquoise for a beautiful bracelet. Yes. That'll be absolutely beautiful. You want to see everything? I can't do that with this microscopic stuff. That's going to be hard to do. I can do that with some things, but let me get through the little tiny charms first. All right, so these are JBB. Another JBB sterling silver heart charm. I love this one because it's a double. $1.49 at 67 cents. So pretty. That's another one, like, instead of, because you know how artists will sign their name to something. When you're a jewelry maker, there's no way to like sign your name, but putting something in like a charm like this that's like your signature, that would be a really pretty way to go. All right, I got two more charms for you, and then I guess we're going to make a mess because Eric says we need to, so that's what we're going to do. Boss says. All right, we have, I love this. This is beautiful, especially with Easter coming. This is so pretty. This is a sterling silver cross link. I love this because there is an opening at the top, and an opening at the bottom. So you could use this and dangle things from it, or you can use it this direction. It's really, really pretty. This one is originally $2.49, is at $1.12. And again, that's sterling silver. It's really beautiful. This would make a really nice addition to like a bookmark, or a personalized piece of jewelry. If you're doing personalized pieces of jewelry for confirmation or for baptism, these are so pretty. Love that. All right, and then a little different than the cross here. It's funny. I have a Halloween charm. Just randomly, I've got this little Sweet and Petite Halloween charm, this little enamel skeleton. This is $1.09. He is now down to 55 cents. I love these. I have some of these in my stash as well. I love the little whimsical addition to holiday jewelry. So if you are a fan of making holiday or Halloween designs, he's a cutie. Super cute. Okay, well, now it's just going to become chaos, because we'll just dump some things out here and hope for the best. Hope that I can find the correct descriptors for everything, because it's easy for Eric to say, just dump it all out in front of you. Everybody wants to see it, because he's not here to clean it up afterwards. You know who has to do that? Me. So, of course he can say, hey, just throw it all out there. Clearance chaos. Here we go. Okay, so these are the strands of beads that I have in the show. I don't have a lot. I do have lots of tubes of beads coming up, but as far as strands are concerned, this is what I've got. So I have, let's start with these guys right here. These are big, huge, beautiful rondelles. These are check fire polish rondelles. These are a 10 by 4 millimeter, and they are originally at $12.99. These are a little over $6. These are at $6.66. Those are so pretty. Look at the facets on those. Those are gorgeous. Okay. We have some check glass center cut. Wait, what? No. See, this is why. This is, oh, it says red center. 9 by 6 millimeter. Light blue with the red center. These were originally $12.89 at $7.53. Look at that color. Those are so pretty and really interesting with those props of red. I kind of love that. That's really cool. Okay. We have, this is one of my personal favorites. These are originally $9.99. They are $5.84. This is a light gold with gold speckles. Little Saturn beads. Love those. They're so pretty. It's a really nice way to add gold. If you're not ready to commit to gold, like findings and gold hardware, add the gold with your beads and then use the silver anyway. Use your silver findings. Gold can be kind of hard to work with if you're not used to it. So this is a nice way to kind of like dip your toes in without committing to the full gold. Really, really pretty. Okay. We have this little baby right here. These are matte bronze faceted rondelles. These are a 2 by 3 millimeter. These are going to make a really nice little spacer bead. Originally $7.99. These are at $4.41. Can never have too many spacer beads. So pretty. All right, this is another one of my favorites. I just love Saturn beads in general, but this color combo is gorgeous. This is mauve and lilac. 8 by 10 millimeter. These are originally $12.89, are at $7.40. $7.40 for Raven's Journey beads, you guys. That's crazy. So pretty. They are pretty. They're very pretty. All right, I have 2 coin strands here. So this one is mustard orange with aqua. This strand is originally $15.89, is at $9.47. I was about to give you a really deep discount. $9.47 on those. This is a really cool combination too. It's kind of retro, right? Very retro. All right, and then we have, wait, did I not just say mustard? This one's mustard orange with Picasso. So this is like a dark orange. This is almost red. That's why I was a little confused. I'm like, wait, mustard? I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing dark orange here. This is like burnt orange. But 12 millimeter, originally 1859, is $9.75. I love the Picasso finish on these. It's really cool. Those are really pretty. These look very like old world. All right, so there's our beady goodness. All right, I'm gonna scoot these over because we're just gonna continue to make chaos. I have some Dakota stone strands. You guys want to see those? I think we should. I was gonna save these for the end, but I'm gonna go ahead and do them now. Since we're here, let me just leave the pile so that it looks like we have a big, huge mess here, even though it's controlled chaos. Okay. Controlled chaos. Adding to the controlled chaos, we have Dakota stone, chakra stones. This is an 8 millimeter faceted energy prism, which is the cut here. This was originally $51.29. These are $26.32, and this is a really gorgeous strand. Now, here's the thing. Even if you're not into like making chakra designs where you line up all the colors in the order of the chakras and all of that, it doesn't matter because these are still absolutely gorgeous. So this is like some clear quartz here. I'm not entirely sure what these guys are. This looks like some carnelian. This looks like lemon quartz, and I could be wrong. This could be citrine. At that price, it was probably citrine, green aventurine, or jade. This is apatite, blue apatite, lapis, and then amethyst. So this strand has a little bit of everything on it. So even if you don't want to do it in the chakra order, you've got some beautiful gemstone beads here. And I love the prism cut. It's one of my favorites. It's really, really beautiful. That's a gorgeous strand of beads. Where's Wanda today? She loves apatite. She would be all about that. So pretty. Okay. Now this is my favorite in the entire show. Absolute favorite thing that is, I don't even know what else to say. This is just my favorite thing ever. And if you know me, you know why. So this is a citrine 10 millimeter faceted round. This is a 16-inch strand, originally at $77.47. This is down to $46.17. I absolutely adore citrine. It is one of, probably, maybe not one of, but my top gemstone. Absolute favorite. I have citrine from all over the place in so many different cuts, and Dakota stones is my favorite to get citrine from. Actually, because I can always sweet talk a good deal when it comes to getting citrine, but I have tons of citrine. This is the biggest citrine bead that I have in my office at the moment. It's absolutely beautiful. So pretty. Such a good fresh color for spring and summer. Next to diamonds, this is my favorite thing. I adore it. And I'm not even a yellow person, but I love citrine. So pretty. And that price is awesome. All right, last but not least for my Dakota stone strands, we have a 6 millimeter blue fossil coral. These are really pretty. This was originally $15.89, is down to $8.66. This is a really interesting strand. I don't know a lot about dyed coral, or I'm sorry, dyed fossil, but I do know that this is really cool. It visually, of course, it's a shiny, smooth bead, but the visual texture there is really cool. This would mix really well with your apatite, I believe. You could also mix this in with like your lapis if you wanted to too, because there are some dark blues in here as well, but gosh, that's pretty. Very, very pretty. All right, there's our beady goodness. All right, let's move on to some tubes. So I'm just gonna slide this on over. We can always come back and take a look at those things again. But now we're gonna dump out some tubes here. And this is where things are gonna get a little crazy because I don't always know what the color, like the official colors are of things. So I have to be able to look back at the pictures, but these are all the same things. So These are Ginkgo beads, okay? And if you don't know what Ginkgo beads are, I'm going to show you what they look like up close. I'll dump some out in my hand so you can see. But these are so cool for making like mermaid style. They look like when you string these up together, they look like scales, like fish scales, mermaid scales, lizard, dragon, whatever, any kind of fantasy creature that you want. These can be used to create some really awesome designs. Seed beaters use these in a lot of different ways, but stringers use these to create some really cool flat bracelet designs that have just a really cool look to them. So let me show you how these are drilled so that you can see. So this one is the hot pink one. This one is, yeah, chatoyant hot pink. So the ginkgo beads, if you're unfamiliar with them, they're shaped like the little ginkgo leaf, but they are double drilled. So you can see there are 2 holes in these. And when you put them, let me show you, when you string these together to create really beautiful pieces, you string them together. You don't have to, but you can string them together in this kind of pattern so that they sit together. They're made to, if I can slide this one over, see how that can create like fish scales? You can make the coolest bracelets out of these guys. Really, really love them. So they're a lot of fun. We should do a project with these. But these are the hot pink. I have these in a lot of different colors, so let's go through what I've got here. So the hot pink was originally $4.69, is at $2.14. Okay. Then I have some electric green. This one is super cool. I love this one. This one is lime green at $4.64 down to $2.13. It glows without glowing in the dark. That's awesome. All right, so there's the green. Here is a insane yellow. So this is lemon, $4.64 down to $1.88. Looks like candy, doesn't it? These are great for springtime designs. Those colors, at least these 3, loving that. All right, now we're getting into some moodier colors here. So this one is the opaque yellow. Opaque yellow. Where's the thing for this one? $3.97 down to $1.84. Is that awesome Picasso finish? We have white. Can't go wrong with white. Like I said, always need white when I don't have it. So stock up on it. $4.64 down to $2. This is a really cool one. Look at the crackle on that. So this one is jet and blue. $3.97 down to $1.62. I love those. Those are really cool. Okay. We have matte luster metallic olivine, whatever, green, $3.49 down to $1.63. It's like a moody green. Very cool. Alrighty. We have, let's see, which one is this? This is the matte olivine Rembrandt. Where is that? I think that's this one. $3.77 down to $1.52. That's very cool. Okay, and then I have 2 left. I have the Smoky Topaz. These are both very similar, and a gold Smoky Topaz. So this one is the Smoky Topaz. And then this one is the gold. Those are very pretty. Love those. So, so pretty. Okay, all right, so take a look here at all of the Ginkgos. I can keep the price on these is really, really nice, because if you've ever shopped for Ginkgos before, you know that the price on these can be, the range on them can be kind of crazy, and you need a lot of them. So before you know it, it starts to really add up. So being able to grab these, during a clearance event is really cool. So I'm kind of loving these hot greens and yellows. These are really awesome. All right, moving on. Oh my gosh, putting all this stuff back in the bags is going to be so much fun. So much fun. Okay, more things in bags that I'm going to dump out because, you know, because chaos is fun. All right, we've got some more double hole beads here, and I've got several of them. These are a little bit different though. These are not Ginkgos, so, and one of them is kind of an oddball out, but that's okay. So these are, most of these are going to be super duos. Again, if you're a seed beater, you know exactly what to do with a super duo. But even if you're a stringer, I have done stringing projects using super duos. It's one of my favorite little odd shaped beads. They kind of look like a little peanut. I also have some nib beads in here as well. So I'm just going to kind of show them all to you, and then we'll go through them. So these are our super duos that we have. We have a really pretty selection of the super duos. And then I have some nibs and then these little guys, which we'll talk about here in a second. So let's look at the super duos first. So for the super duos, we have Halo Linen. Halo Linen. Now I have to go back through and see if I can find the baggie that this came out of. And I cannot find it because, you know, there it is. Originally $4.17, $1.79. That's a really cool color too. It's like a copper and a green all together. It's very, very pretty. And then we have this one is the Matte Nebula Ashen Gray, which is a really cool color. $4.27 down to $1.72. This one is kind of like an oil slick. You know how oil does that crazy iridescent blue, purple, crazy thing? That's what these look like. So pretty. Then we have some beautiful green. These are the Matte Olivine Vitriol. These were $3.49 down to $1.69. My favorite out of all of these today is the Yellow Gold. These were $3.59 down to $1.79. I love that color. So pretty. All right, we have Amethyst Luster. This is another gorgeous one. $3.59 down to $1.44. And then we have the Jet Full Capri Gold. Sorry. $4.17 down to $1.82. Super cool. These are another one of those beads where they are a funny little shape. And if you've never worked with them before, they lay together really nicely. You can see, I don't know, with the glare in the way, it's kind of hard to tell, but you see how these two beads right here are sitting together, or there's three, 1, 2, 3. They sit together perfectly. They're shaped just so that you can stack them up, kind of like Legos or bricks. They're really cool to get some really cool designs out of those. You can use these if you are a stringer or if you are a seed beater. Both are going to be able to find some really cool uses for those. All right, then I have some nib beads. These are matte metallic gold iris. These are like, they're double drilled. They're sort of like little, they look like gumdrops almost, in really beautiful metallics. So pretty. So these were originally $2.49 or $1.23. We have these guys, these little nibs that were $2.49 and are $1.14. These are the Smoky Topaz, which is kind of an interesting shape. I don't think I've ever used them with anything, but they're really cool. And then last but not least, we have the Apollo Gold, and these are diamond shaped beads. So these are this is kind of like the odd man out. I threw them in here with the rest of these because they are double drilled. I'm not entirely sure what happened to the bag, so I don't know the price on these guys, but I'm sure that Michelle does. But these are a little diamond shaped, really interesting, and that color is really pretty. So pretty. Very, very pretty. All right, moving on. So we're going to set these off to the side. Okay, now I have to be a little bit more controlled with the things coming up because I have a pile of prestige items coming your way. But first we're going to go through some earring findings and just some random findings. And I'm not going to just dump all these out as much as I would love to do that. I'm not going to. So these are some antique silver plated brass screwback earrings with the loops. These are so vintage and retro feeling. I love it. So if you know somebody who doesn't like to wear pierced earrings or doesn't have their ears pierced but still loves the jewelry, or you're going to make a heavier design. A lot of times when you're making a heavy earring, it's better to do a clip-on versus an actual pierce because it's really bad on your piercing. So these guys are made to take a lot of weight when it comes to creating a heavier earring. They're really nice. They've got the ball on the front and then the loop for you to hang your dangle from, and they just screw on. And like I said, great for weighted designs. You can also open them up, so they're easy to just like clip onto the ear, and then you just tighten the back. If you like heavy earrings, even if your ears are pierced, I recommend these, and I love the kind of vintage style to these. They're very cool. All right, moving on. I've got a lot of earring findings here. So we have these little guys. These are originally 19 cents. They're down to 9 cents. If you need some little backs for your earrings, these are good. These are really nice because they have that large disc on them. That, if you have an earring that kind of is on the heavier side, it kind of droops forward, having this large back on it is really nice. If you make jewelry to sell, grabbing a bag of these is definitely where it's at, especially at 9 cents a piece. You could grab a ton of those. Really like that. All right. Next up, just some ear wires if you need some. These are gold filled 14 karat ear wire. This is with the little bead and the coil. Also want to point out that the loop on these is front facing. These are originally $4.84 at $2.60 now. So a lot of times with this style, the loop will be facing the other direction. So these are front facing. Okay. These are kind of cool. This is like the modern ear wires. These are gold plated, modern lever back. The shape is really interesting. These were originally 93 cents, are now 54. So I think they're kind of cool. Just not very good at opening them, but see how that works. And then you put it on and then you just snap it into place. They're definitely different. They're easy to open too. It's not hard. Super cool. Interesting shape. Very interesting shape. All right, moving on to the next. Try to get through these so we can get to the prestige, because that's the fun stuff. All right, this is a little ear cuff. Somebody asked me about ear cuffs the other day. B&B silver plated brass plain ear cuff with the ring, originally $3.69, is at $2.05. This one's has a little loop on it so you can hang dangles from it. That's how you can personalize it. Your cuff sits on the side of your ear, so you don't have to have a piercing to wear one of these. I really, really like these. These had a huge moment back in the 90s, but are coming back around again and are really cool because there's so many different things you can do with them. You can create chain pieces that kind of drape and come to another earring. Super, super cool, and I like it because you don't have to have a piercing to wear these. Very neat. All right. These guys right here, I'm not going to take them out of the package just because you can see them just fine in the packaging. These are originally $4.07, are $2.25. These are gold filled 14 karat gold. Just a really pretty nice shepherd's hook style ear wire. I like those a lot, and they're nice and long. They're very cute. Okay. Next up, we have some beading rings. So these are endless beading hoops. These are great for creating like brick stitch designs on them. You can just string beads onto them if you want to. If you like hoop earrings, this is a great base. These were originally $4.17, are now $2.41, and they're sterling silver. They're kind of big. This is a 1.5 inch. And you can see you thread all your beads on, or you do your beadwork onto the hoop or in the inside of the hoop. And then you take your pliers very carefully and bend the end up, and then it sits into the little opening there. These are really pretty. This size is a little large though, so if that's too big for you, I do have the smaller version of that. I'm not going to take it out of the bag, but I am going to show it to you. So these are a 1/2 inch. So this is quite a bit smaller. These are also sterling silver, $2.39 down to $1.23. So if you need the smaller ones, they are available in sterling silver as well. Super cute. Okay. All right, I have another really cool ear wire. So Tiara Cast ear wires are the best. This is the black niobium ear wire. These were originally $4.54 at $2.46. This color, this is what I consider art metal, which I know is not even really a real thing. It's just kind of a made up color that essentially just means like gray black. I have a lot of Tiara Cast and vintage pieces in this color, so being able to find ear wires and other findings that match them is really cool. I love the addition of the copper ball on these. So $4.54 down to $2.46. This is a really nice pair of earrings. Super cool. All right. I got a clasp for you. You guys know I do love a lobster clasp. It's always kind of a running joke around here because lobster clasp is what I grab for, even though I have some of the most beautiful clasps in the entire universe in my office. For some reason, I always just go for this. This, however, is a little bit larger. This one is an antique copper, $2.59 down to $1.54. It's a nice size. You can see that's bigger than your regular, the ones at least I grab for. So that's a really nice one. Really pretty. Okay. Definitely not going to take this one out of the package. It is a head pin. And of course you buy these more than one at a time, but these are 3 cents each. They are down from 7 cents. 22 gauge wire, copper. They're 1.5 inches long, and you can never have too many of these. And at 3 cents a piece, grab as many as you possibly can. They have a nice little head on them too. Love those. All right. Now I have two clasps here that are magnetic. This one is actually one of our top rated items. This is a sterling silver 4mm magnetic clasp. This is a 5-star item. This is a clasp converter. So for those of you who have pieces of jewelry that you've already made and they have a clasp on them, but it drives you crazy because you don't like messing with the clasp, this is a converter. So basically what you do is you clip this to your existing clasp, and the other end of your clasps you hook to this end, and now all of a sudden you have the magnet. So you don't have to take anything off. You don't have to use your pliers. You don't have to do any of the things. You just clip this on there with the existing clasp that you already have, and now all of a sudden you have intersected all of it with a magnet, so you don't have to worry. So you can take like your expensive pieces of jewelry, and this is sterling silver, so you're not just adding junk base metal to your already existing fancy piece of jewelry if you've got it, right? You're adding this sterling silver magnet to it to make your life so much easier without taking away anything from the original piece. These were $509, are now down to $263, and as mentioned, this is a 5-star rated. This is one of our top rated clasps on the website. Really kind of surprised to see this in the clearance. All right, and then last of the clasps, definitely makes life easier, is this guy, which at first I did not understand this at all. So this is originally $11.99, is down to $6.52. This is a gold-plated etched barrel clasp, and at first I was like, what in the world is this? And I'm still not entirely sure that I understand, but this is somehow it's one. I have 2 of them. I don't know how this works. Somebody please tell me. Somebody please tell me how this works. It's a magnet. I don't know how. I don't know what you do with it. I tried to figure it out by looking at the picture, and I'm just being 100% honest with you guys, because you guys know I will tell you straight up whether or not I like something or how do you. I don't know what you do with this. I don't. I just don't. No clue. Couldn't even tell from the picture. I'm not sure how this works. But I mean, I'm showing it to you because it's in the show and somebody out there knows how to make this work. I am not that person. So look, of course Michelle knows because Michelle is absolutely brilliant. Michelle says it's an interesting clasp. You string it on a piece and tie it and then glue then add glue. And that's it? Like what makes it I'm so confused. Gina says looks like two wheels from a bus. Mary says looks like lug nuts. That's what I thought too. I was like, wait a minute. It's really fancy lug nuts. That's what we got here. I'm still very confused, but it's really pretty. Not the first time I had to explain this clasp. I love it. I'm glad that you know, Michelle. It's actually really pretty. I mean, all joking aside, but I don't really understand it, but I think it's cool. Okay. Now, let's move on to the last set of things I have in the show today. This is where we get to look at extra pretty things. I'm going to save the most pretty sparklies for the very end. But I have a whole stack. I left it in the bag. What do you mean I left it in the bag? There's nothing else. Maybe it's missing. Like this was all I had. Was just these two pieces. That's why I was like, because it says 2 each, so I know it doesn't go together, right? I think mine was missing the magnet part. I don't know. I'm just showing you like I had it. I think mine was missing something. Okay, so now we're gonna look at prestige. This is the last of what we have in the show today. And some of these are microscopic, so you're gonna have to pay attention, not these necessarily. But I have some 8mm crystal baroque round pearls. These are $1.99 originally at $1.02. These are very pretty. So if you like baroque pearls, but you don't like to pay the price for baroque pearls, the prestige ones are absolutely gorgeous. So pretty. Okay. All right, now this is where I'm not even going to take these out of the bag because they're just too small. So these are 2mm pastel gray. These are 7 cents each. These are really, I know you're like, why does a bead that small exist? Because think about seed beaders for a second, and stringing, of course, but for your seed bead projects, when you want to add pearls to it, you want to add prestige pearls, this is the perfect size. It's going to mix really well with a lot of your seed beads. It's going to mix really well with a lot of your tiny little crystals. So these are the pastel gray. These are prestige. And if this color is not a color that you love, that's okay. I've got some more. Okay. So I also have them. These are 8 cents in this really pretty gold color. Again, mix these in they're beautiful as spacers. Mix these into your seed bead designs. You can use these as spacers between bigger beads in your stringing projects. Like they're just pretty. They're really just quite lovely. Okay. Then we have the pearlescent. I love the color on those. It's pink, it's green, it's purple, it's all the things. So pretty. Really gorgeous. Those are 9 cents. Okay. These are Bordeaux. These are 8 cents. There's really deep, beautiful red. Now these are not pearls. These are little bicones, but they are 3mm little purpley bicones. 11 cents, whoops, each. So pretty. Try to show you all the little tiny things first so that we can look at the bigger ones. All right, these are Crystal Rouge. This is a great red for the holidays. I did a Christmas project, Christmas in July last year, using this color. It's really pretty. These are 9 cents. Okay. My absolute favorite is the neon red. These are 2 cents each. If y'all don't buy those up, I'm going to. I love that color. And this is one of my favorite prestige beads. I have some of them in the bigger size, but I love the little baby ones because even though they're tiny, they pack a big punch with that neon color. Really pretty. Okay. Couple more little small things, then we'll step up in size a little bit here. All right, these are elderberry. These are ovals. They're rice shaped, rather. These were 19 cents. It's like a purpley red, brown. It's really pretty. Okay, let's see. These are some more of the red. This is a 3mm, so this is a little bit bigger. Just one step up from the teeny tiny ones that I showed you. These are 8 cents. Very pretty. All right. We have 4mm faceted round jet. So these are those 5,000 beads. I love the 5,000s. They're just really beautifully faceted in black. Little 4mm, 30 cents each. Super pretty. Okay. We also have the 4mm 5,000s in the crystal silver shade. This is a beautiful, beautiful color. Don't confuse this with just plain clear because it is not. This has a silver, kind of like a soft gray to it. Really pretty. These are great for vintage designs. That color is amazing. Okay. A little bit bigger in the bicones. We've got a 5mm iris AB. So this is like a purple with that AB finish. 21 cents each. I love 5mm. It's a great size. Really pretty. All right, we have round rose peach. These are 33 cents each. These are some more of the 5,000s. This is a great color for spring. Look how pretty. Love that. And then we have some 6mm in jet, which is just black. These were 24 cents each. Those are all really nice beads to stock up on at those really, really low prices. All right, now I have some bigger ones. This is kind of rounding out the end of the show here. These are originally $2.79. These are $1.61. This is some more of the Baroque, but this one is in this really pretty, like, it's not the Tahitian color. This is like it's like teal color. Really, really pretty. I love the size and I love the shape and the color. Everything about these is just gorgeous. They're so nice. You could get a bunch of these and do knotting between them. Love that. So pretty. All right. And then we have this guy. I did, in fact, use these in the Christmas project last year. These are originally $2.99 or $1.70. So these are the 14mm coin, and they are prestige. All the beads that I've showed you here, they are that was the Tahitian. Huh. Well, don't listen to me. Michelle knows, and I know nothing. As I mentioned, Michelle is the boss. These are so pretty, though. This is a great red for Christmas. Love that. So pretty. It looks like candy. All right, I have 3 things left to show you, and then we are done for the day. Oh, I'm sorry, 4 things. My bad. Just kidding. All right. Gorgeous drop. Look at that. So pretty. This is a 6,000 bead. This is a 15mm teardrop pendant. Originally $1.99 is $1.11. I would grab a ton of these. They're so pretty. Make drops for earrings and necklaces. I love that. All right. Next up, We have originally $469 is down to $273. That's insane to me. These are, or this is a 22 millimeter twist crystal. It's another classic prestige bead right here. So look at the facet on that. It's absolutely beautiful. Originally $464, less than $3 now. I would get as many of those as you can because they're going to be gone. I promise. Those will be gone. That's gorgeous. So pretty. All right, last two items in the show. All right. I have two of these in my hand, but they are sold individually. This is the Prestige 13 millimeter skull bead in crystal. These are always fun. These are great for Dia de los Muertos. These are great for Halloween. These are great for just any old time you're feeling like a rock star. These are originally $13.49, $7.74. And these are getting harder and harder to come by, actually. So if you love the little skull beads from Prestige, and you guys know Prestige is, you know who Prestige is, right? I can't say it because I'll get in trouble, but you guys know the Austrian crystals that we speak of when we say Prestige. That's just their new name. That looks like an ice cube. That's not a cube, piece of ice. Shaped like a skull. Love that. Super cool. And then last but not least, I have another one. I love it. Janelda has started a new hashtag, Ask Michelle She Knows. That's perfect. We're going to use that from now on. All right. Last but not least is a 19 millimeter of those skull beads. This one is in Crystal Silver Night. This one was originally $24.39, is $14.64. And again, these are getting harder and harder to find. I don't know if they are still making them, or if it just is what it is and you just grab up the ones that they had. I don't know if they make a new set of these every year. I kind of feel like they don't. I feel like this was like, a one and done from Prestige, but I don't know for sure. But I think that they're really stinking cool. And I've seen some designers do some really awesome things with them. So again, that one was $24.39, is now $14.64. So less than $15 for one of these guys. That's pretty wild. All right, Sandy says, I think that's the prettiest skull I've ever seen. I know. Right? Normally not something you would put in the same sentence with pretty in, but yeah. All right, guys. So I am going to pile in the pile of beads here one more time, just to kind of give you a last little look here, and just a little reminder to everybody as we are reaching the end of the show that you can very easily add all of these items to your cart by clicking on that shopping bag. If there's like something that you were looking for, now's your last chance to ask Michelle real quick, or you can ask me. You don't want to let your cart sit there for too long though, because at up to 80% off original prices, these items are going to disappear very quickly. So if you come back to your cart, even just a couple of hours from now, there's probably going to be some things that are missing from your cart that have sold out. So definitely want to take advantage and go ahead and make your final purchases right now so that you don't miss out. And things like the spacers. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just found a whole stack of things that I forgot about. Are y'all okay for another couple of minutes? I just found a whole nother bag. I'm sorry. I thought we were done. As I'm talking, I'm going to show you the last little bits of things here because I don't want to leave these out. But as you are checking out, double check your cart. Make sure you've got the right amount of things, because if you come back later to buy more, they're probably going to be gone. This one is a gold-plated 8 millimeter fuchsia rhinestone ball bead. $2.29 is now 95 cents. Okay, I'll just lay all these out like right here. This one's super cool. There's only a few of them, so it's not that big a deal. All right, we've got gold-plated 16mm crystal rhinestone. This one is a tube, which I thought was a very interesting. Originally $669 is now $332. That one's pretty. They're all pretty, quite honestly. But like the rhinestone spacers that we were talking about earlier, like people will buy those in bulk. So just because you only need 10 of them now doesn't mean you won't need 10 of them later. You want to buy them up now because somebody else is buying them 50 at a time. You know what I mean? This was the light rosaline, originally $229 at $111. Got another one here. This one is light amethyst, $229 at $111. That's that soft purple, really pretty. All right, and then the rest of this, oh wait, there's one more of those. The rest of this is metal beads. So we can look at those super quick. This one is in jet, $229, now $1.06. All right. Now, we're going to look at the metal beads real quick. There's a couple of little spacers here that I'm not going to take out of the bag. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 that I will. Okay, so quickly. Little spacer bead here. This is a silver thin spacer, twisted wire. Originally $1.19 is now 16 cents. These are nice large hole spacers that are going to work with a lot of your large stringing materials. Okay. This one is a bit smaller. This one is 33 cents. This one is the same thing, just smaller. Obviously. Okay. We have a double granulation little spacer bead. This one is $1.42. Super cute. This one is a sterling silver oval bead, now 64 cents. All right, last 4 things, and then we really are done. Make sure you are closing out your carts right about now, though. Silver leaf bead, $6.49 is now $3.54. Really pretty large hole bead here. This one is the tubular slider. $7.29 now $3.85. This is a large hole bead. These are great for unisex designs, guys. If you like to use big chunky stringing material, leather, those are awesome for that. Here's another really cool tube bead. This one was originally $10.99. It's now $6.37. This one is a cylinder bead with wire and granulation. Just really pretty. I love that. That is gorgeous. It's really nice. And then last one, this really is it. Double spacer with the wire center. This one was originally $4.17, is now $2.41. Another really pretty. All the Bali beads are just really, really nice. Quality is really good too. So, all right, that is it. That is it. There are no more piles, no more secret stacks that I totally forgot about. So this is definitely last call. I'm going to turn you guys around. I appreciate all of you for hanging this afternoon. Thanks for joining me. Thank you, Michelle, for taking such good care of us. Thanks for Eric for hanging out with us on this Friday afternoon as well. All of you are amazing. Always, always hit those heart buttons. Show some love. I appreciate you all so much. Again, gentle reminder. I know I've said it before, but you don't understand. I mean, I'm sure that you do, but there's somebody out there who doesn't quite believe me yet. But when I tell you that when the clearance is up to 80% off, a lot of those items are going to be gone. You can click on it and put it in your cart, and you can see, like, with the rhinestone spacers in particular, like the quantity on it, you can put it in, like, if you pull the drop down menu and you're like, oh, I can add 100 of these to my cart. Just because you can do that does not mean that there will be 100 of those left when you come back on Monday. Chances are there's either going to be like 2 left or none at all. So you definitely want to take advantage of it right now, because once they're gone for good. And there's nothing worse than I've done this so many times, buying something and thinking that you have enough of them, and you go to do the project and you're like, oh, I need like 6 more of these. And you go to the website to get it and they're not there. When it's clearance items, that is going to happen. So definitely take advantage right now of the price and what the quantity is, because they're not coming back. So Carol says, going to check out. That's what I like to hear. Thank you, Carol. All right, guys, have an amazing rest of your afternoon. I do not know when I will see you next week. Some of the Art Beads crew is traveling next week for a fun Art Beads adventure that we've got going on for you guys, but we will post some behind the scenes pictures and things. I don't know if there will be a live from me next Friday or not. I'm not sure, but you will see me in some capacity next week. But I will be back the week after that for sure with another fun project for you guys. Looking forward to seeing all of you and sharing with you about this new adventure that we're going on. So stick around. Be sure that you check out the rest of the clearance items on the website and that you are signing up for the newsletter so you stay in the know of every single little adventure that we go on. All right. All right, guys, have an amazing rest of your afternoon. Have a wonderful weekend, and I